The unusual is about to happen. I want you to brace yourself. Wear your secure uniform and have those pants of panic secured by a belt and braces if necessary. For the impact of the statement I am about to make will cause the very quiver of your quivers to quiver. I agree with Julia Hartley Brewer. I know. I was the same. But I came round after somebody gave me some smelling salts. She was talking to Paul Scully, who's a former Conservative MP minister-type personage, about the betting scandal. Now, the betting scandal just gets worse and worse and worse. There's another person taking a leave of absence today about it. And it just sort of snowballs all out of control. How many people knew about it? Was it just those people, or was it just the majority of the English-speaking world? She's quizzed Paul Scully about this matter, and Paul Scully was equally evasive, as you've come to expect.
In terms of people who did apparently know the election was coming on July the 4th, all these aides, candidates, wives of aides who are candidates, who are being investigated, one of whom has openly admitted, yes, he made a grave error of judgment by putting bets on for the election date. What on earth were these people thinking? That, even if just one of them did it, they're investigations, they're looking at hundreds of different bets. One aide, by all accounts, put on, some sort of, half a dozen, or no, a dozen plus bets in different places. That, to me, says they kind of knew what they were doing was, at the very least, inappropriate and unethical, let alone whether or not it's actually illegal. What on earth could be going through the minds of close aides to the Prime Minister or candidates or people who found information thinking that was an appropriate thing to do?
I'll just break out and give you my two penneth here. They got away with it because over the last 6 years, possibly over the last 14, but definitely over the last 5, they've witnessed other MPs cashing in, making deals and getting a lot of money and having no consequences about it whatsoever.
Well, I think you get to the point in any administration, and I think both parties tend to do it, if you get into the bubble. So you sit there, you're either in Party HQ, number 10, or in Parliament, and you're wrapped up with the people around you, forgetting there's nearly 70 million people putting their trust in you to actually do stuff. We saw it with Partygate. It feels the same again. And what I don't know that what the Gambling Commission are going to throw out is if these people are just being stupid by putting the bet on, or being criminal by having that inside knowledge.
So you're going to use stupidity as a defence. Stupidity is now a legitimate legal defence in the eyes of the government. That is essentially what you're saying there. And your stupidity is your shield of steel against any consequences would happen. Right, I've got you. Let's bear that in mind next time we're all up in court.
Or was it just as a matter of some of the articles that were coming out around the time that were speculating?
Were they making a guess, or were they in the room? I think someone putting on bets in more than one place suggests to me that they had inside information.
Well, we'll see what happens. But either way, it was at worst, at best, it was stupid, Julia.
At best, I would say unethical. I would say. Do you think that the Prime Minister is wrong not to have suspended the two Tory candidates, one of whom is being investigated, and the other whom has literally admitted doing it? Do you think he should suspend those candidates?
I think this is a really difficult judgment.
How is it a stupid judgment? How is it a stupid or difficult decision to make? One of them has already admitted to it. The others, well, there's enough evidence there to throw the book at them. And their trial is obviously pending, so they're innocent until proven guilty. But it's a good solid case, because otherwise they wouldn't have excused themselves from their duties. So how is it a difficult decision to make?
I'll tell you for why, Julia. Because as I say, if you put a flutter on and you've been stupid, then I think you should be admonished, but I'm not sure you should be suspended. If there is a criminal act, if it's insider information, then absolutely you should be suspended.
So what exactly would you term as the date for the general election? Under their terms and conditions of employment, they are actually signing the Official Secrets Act. If something isn't published without the government's permission, it is in breach of the Official Secrets Act. So they are working by nature on inside information. That's always assuming that they actually did this. Because this has got to go through due process. We've got to have an inquiry, and sometime in the 2040s we should find out the truth of the matter.
The problem by going guilty before you're proved innocent, rather than innocent proved guilty, is by suspending the candidate, you're almost tainting what's going to come.
No, one of them has already admitted doing it.
No, but he's admitted to putting a bet on. But we don't know.
He's admitted it. He's admitting to putting the bet on. What more do you need? Lock, stock and barrel. Send him down. Get him doing stir. He's up for some porridge.
But it's really simple. Rishi Sunak and someone else can sit him down and say, were you in the room when we were actually discussing? Yeah, we're going to go for July the 4th. Yes or no? We can check the minutes. Were you in the room? Yes, you were. So you put that bet on with insider information. You use that information to make money for yourself. You're out. I would find. I mean, I realise whether it's the police, the gambling commission, or HR in any organisation, it would take them 6 months to do this, or a parliamentary standards watchdog would take them 6 years. But for the rest of us, this is really simple. Mano a mano. Did you have this information from this meeting? When did you put the bet on? You can see the betting slip. You can see what's the electronic record over, and you know whether they were in the meeting when that was decided. This is simple stuff. It'll take 5 minutes.
Well, I would hope that those conversations have happened. I would hope that Rishi would have made his decision not to suspend on that basis.
Why? Why would you hope that? If he's been told what actually happened and they've been truthful about it, why would you think that? I mean, the mere fact that they've been implicated in this caper says that they're unreliable, gives some clue as to their intentions and their motivations for actually wanting to do the job. And it would help the Conservative Party, and let's face it, the Conservative Party needs a lot of help, to actually show some backbone and say, right, OK, you're going to take you off there until we actually sort this out. And that will be the way of doing it. But they don't seem to sort of realise that. They don't seem to grasp that will be a way of demonstrating integrity and an actual backbone instead of just being sort of like some jellyfish.
Because I heard Chris Heaton-Harris on the morning round this morning saying that he only knew about the election when other cabinet members knew, i.e. after the Prime Minister had gone to the King.
Yeah.
So Rishi should know who knew what when at that moment. So I don't know his conversations with the candidate. But we'll see. OK,
we shall indeed see. Paul Scully, really appreciate you joining us.
Now, the other thing is, people are saying, why would these people risk their reputations and that healthy salary that they're on just to make a couple of hundred, possibly £1,000? And the answer is this, because they can make a couple of hundred and £1,000. It doesn't matter on the amount. The matter is that they're just greedy people. They just want more and more and more. And if you just say, well, and they know, as I said before, they know, because of the last 5-6 years that have happened with all the Partygate and all the scandals and the affairs and the revelations and the expenses, mistakes, they know that there's going to be no consequence to these actions whatsoever. Very, very vanishingly unlikely that there's going to be consequences to their actions. And so they're willing to do it because there's money in it. If there's money in it, they will be there.